My God, it's time to take some more pictures. So when you take photographs, how many do you usually take? I usually take about 1, 2, 3, then my finger starts hurting. You don't want to take any more than 3, come on. All right, so look at this pretty girl. We're gonna take some pictures of her. So we have a light, but we could use natural light. You ever hear photographers say, I'm a natural light photographer? How good is the natural light here? Well, could be better. So do you think we should turn a light on? All right, so now I gotta work my finger out again and turn a light on. So here's our light, and we turn it on. Yeah. And might be easier to turn on down here. There we go. Now I'm gonna have you back your chair up a little bit just because there's no platform right there. Okay, nice. So when you have your light and you light somebody, come on in. We're friends for life, you know that. Friends for life. And if I catch you at the bar later on, I'm buying you a drink. Just don't order $1,500 worth of champagne, all right? I can't afford that. It's a recession right now. Okay, so we have our model, and we want to take some photographs of her, so turn your body this way. If the model or your subject is aimed towards the light, what happens is that everything gets lit evenly. Sometimes when you're taking a photograph, it's good if the light is brighter at the face and gradates down. That way it always leads you to the face. Now, where is your eye supposed to go? To their eyes, their face. So the best way to do that is not in Photoshop. Why not just do it with your light and be done? See, I don't play in Photoshop. Photoshop's just for enhancement. It's not to sit there and play all day. You're going to play your life away and you won't have any friends. Do you know any photographers that have friends? I don't. None of them. Because I've been through this. My 20s are a blur, my 30s are a blur, because you get off of work and you play in Photoshop all day long. Don't do that. Get it right now. So I'm going to show you how to do it with your lights. Get it right. At 6 o'clock, go home, enjoy your family. All right. So the question is, you guys ever took a class on lighting? What did they teach you? How to turn the light on? Huh? Okay, so the question is where to position the light. Thank you. So right now, when we have a light, how far away do you put the light from your subject? Okay, so this is what's being taught in lighting. If you move the light close, it gets soft. If you back it up, it gets harsh, right? What's the only thing you ever learn in lighting? Bring it in close, it gets soft, back it up, it gets harsh. But I'm going to try to debunk that and separate every individual thing that lighting does so that you're not doing it all kind of entwined. Now, I would prefer that if you want lighting to be soft, instead of moving it in close to make it soft, that you would change the softbox size. What makes lighting soft? How big it is. If you want it to be soft, change the size of the softbox. What happens though if you move the light at different distances, besides making it soft and harsh? What else happens? Anybody know? When you move the light in or move it away, what happens? It gets brighter and darker. Okay, now, do we care if it's brighter and darker? If I turned the brightness up and down, would it ever change the quality of light? See, when I first got started, you know what I was doing? I was going like, hey, bring it closer and make it brighter. Back it up and make it darker. And then I realized that there was a whole nother road you could go on. It had nothing to do with that. And the way that I debunked it was, watch this. If I took this light and I turned it all the way down, and we took a picture at 2.8 at a 60th, turn it up, 2.8 at 125, turn it up, 2.8 at 250, and I showed you those 3 photographs. Would there be any differences between them? None. So what does the distance really do? If you took the light and moved it at different distance. Okay, listen to this. I've been doing this for quite a few years. I don't want to say how many because I'm really not that old, seriously. You know what I do when I go to my friends' studios? I go, why is your light 5 feet away? Why is yours 10 feet away? Why is your light 3 feet away? And they can't answer me. They can't answer me. They don't know why. So I want to explain to people what the distance does. All right, watch this. If we brought this light into her really close, yes, it's soft. The softness is really the size. But to make this, I can't change the size of my hands, but I can bring one closer to her and it gets bigger and bigger. Okay, all right, we know that. Here's what happens though. Light in close falls off fast. So that means you're limited to only one person. You can't add me in there because I'm 3 stops darker than her. Sometimes you want that though. Let's just say I'm black and she's white. Let's switch, I'll sit there. Put the darker person next to the light, and now I'm white, because we both be the same brightness. Because the light's so bright to me, next to me, and I'm so much brighter than her, you made me white. You got a groom, he's got a, I'm messing with you, but I gotta somehow make you think, you know what I mean? You got a groom, he's got a black tuxedo on, put him next to the light, not her, you're gonna wear him all out. You're gonna wash her out. You don't put the white outfit next to the light. But that will help you if you start learning this stuff for every real world. They're not teaching you real world situations. Okay, here's a real world situation. You got this beautiful girl, and we're gonna photograph her in a big, huge, beautiful ballroom, or apartment, or whatever it is. How far would you put the light from her? You're in a beautiful apartment, and I hired you, or they hired you to come there and take a picture of her in this elegant gown, this elegant room. How far away do you put the light? They're not going to teach you this stuff, because the only thing that they're teaching you is bring it in, make it soft, back it up, and make it harsh. It's the only thing. I've never heard anything. The only thing I've ever heard in this whole show is, oh, and I have a trigger on my camera, and watch, I can make that flash trigger, and I can make that flash trigger. They don't tell you where to put it, and they don't tell you what the distance does. Nothing. So stick around. We're going to learn more. Okay, watch this. I got to photograph this whole group. I'm a light on a stand. If I'm this close to you, do they get any light? We're not talking about a softbox. We're just talking about light before you even put the box on. If I'm this close to you, nobody gets any light. You back the light up for coverage. The distance of the light from your subject is only for coverage. All right, so if you're paying attention now, we're back in the room. Got one light, you're gonna photograph her. You want the room to show, because it's beautiful. How far away do you put the light? 15, 20 feet. Okay. Now, we're on this job, right? We get here, we look at the background, just say it's nasty back there. And we go, what are we gonna do now? The background's terrible. What do you do? Okay, bring the light in close, make the background fall off. Okay, this is real world stuff. So I'm trying to encourage you guys that every single day on that job, you're gonna get there and go, should we make the background go dark, or should we light the whole room? If you want the light to be soft, then buy a real big one. But don't do it for the wrong reasons, you know what I mean? If you want it to be harsh, get a smaller one. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's all I'm trying to say to you. Let's first learn the distance and the size and all that kind of stuff. Okay, now we're on to the next thing. And that is, where does your light go? How high does it go? How far in front of her does it go? And let's learn some lighting patterns like split, broad, short, butterfly, Rembrandt. Then once you learn that, what's the right light for the right face? I got a big, wide face. What kind of light would you put on me? These photographers come in, they put a reflector under here and a light up here and these lights all over the place, and the person looks this wide. Anybody can photograph a supermodel. Anybody. They can put any kind of light on them. What's the odds of you, let's just say you all do good in your career. What's the odds, that's like me saying, what's the odds of this model being the most supermodel in the world? It's very difficult. What's the odds of me ever being the most super photographer in the world? It's difficult, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna photograph movie stars. It's not gonna happen. I hate to break your bubble or whatever. You're gonna end up someday figuring out where the money is. Do you think she's gonna pay me to take a picture of her? She's got photographers begging her all day long to take a picture of you. You're never gonna make a dollar. Photographers right now do not know how to make a living. There's nobody. I put my kids through college, I paid for my house, I paid for my cars, I've made a living at this. You guys are never gonna make a living at this till you figure out how to make somebody that's not that great looking look great. The secret to photography and making a living out of it is figuring out how to look at somebody and figure out what's their best side, what lens, what camera angle, and what light to put on their face. It's not the same light for everybody. Okay, now, anybody here a musician? Musician. Okay, I think I'm a musician. Here's the piano and I'm going like this. Hector, I'm going like this across the keyboard. Am I a musician? That's noise. If I played the note correctly, is that music? Yes. Okay, in lighting, there's correct positions of the light. Split, you guys know them? 7, split, broad, short, Rembrandt, butterfly, broad Rembrandt, okay, loop lighting. All right, so let's take this off of here. All right, here's the number one problem in lighting. Number one problem. I'm just going to get this out of the way. You might have to back your chair up just a little bit more. Cool, thank you. Number one problem in lighting. What am I doing wrong? Number one problem. You know what it is? There's no such thing as overexposed. Because if I took a meter and I meter for her right there, it's not going to be overexposed. It does look harsh. So yeah, it looks harsh. But harsh lighting sometimes awesome. You're used to seeing these great big huge soft boxes. It's basically blah, it's mush. You know how I could help you, Hector, to be the best photographer ever at lighting? Don't use a softbox, get a light bulb. Just get a light bulb. That's what I did. When I was young like you, I got a light bulb. And I proved to myself I could do it with a light bulb. You could do it with a candle. You should be able to do it with a flashlight. Anything. Softbox are nothing. There's no light there. That's the fill light. It's not a main light. Softbox is not a main light. Never will be a main light. It's not direct enough to do anything. Don't use a softbox unless it's an old person or a big family group. You don't use a softbox on a pretty face like this. But right now, this one doesn't have any diffusion on it, so it's not too bad. And I'm just doing this to protect that guy's lens. Okay. Now, the problem is that the light's down too low. Number one problem in lighting is the light's down too low. And the way you know that is so if these are catch lights, the catch light would be at 3 and 9. Where are they supposed to be? 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So that's telling us that that light would have to be all the way up on a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to raise the light up. Wow. Look how high it is. Please take note of that, because I've been everywhere and I've watched every photographer here. You know why? I'm trying to get myself inspired to help you. And I see all the mistakes. Gives me something to talk about. Because I live my own life, I do my own thing. I'm not a lecturer. And then I just got to watch and go, okay, I see what they need. They need someone to show them what to reach for. And where it's the blind leading the blind. And there's no one there teaching anything else, but watch this. Do you know who I am? You want to see my pictures? Do you want to see how much I've been published? Do you want to see how great I am? I don't even tell people my name. It's not irrelevant. What are you here for? It's your motive. Everybody's boosting their own ego. For what? You're not going to hear me say, I don't even tell people who I am. I say nothing. And my motive is to help you because I can see what's going on. I'm watching these photographers. They don't pay attention. Pay attention to how high this is. You know that then you got these guys that use window light. If you use a window, shut the whole bottom of the window off. Get a big black gobel, shut that thing off, and make the light come at the top of the window. It's not supposed to be bright down here. Light comes down naturally from a 45-degree angle in the sky, and the painters painted it all, laid it all out for us at the museum, and that's where you learn the beautiful paintings and the positions of the light. So the positions of the light are Rembrandt, broad, split. Let's go over some of those positions. Is that okay? But maybe she's kind of pretty. Maybe we should put a flaw on her because she's too easy to photograph. She's going to put a bump on her nose. Just a little lip right there. There's a bump on her nose. So this great photographer who thinks he's the great is going to make her look great without even realizing that he might have to move the light. I don't want to move the light. It's been right there. It's got dust on it. Come on, it's stuck to the floor. Why do I want to move the light? How would you move the light to get rid of that bump on her nose from showing in the shadow? Because everything shows up in the shadows. Put your finger down for a minute. I go to the biggest booth in New York, biggest photograph on the wall. It's some famous guy, I can't say because I don't want anybody to come back at me, thinks he's photographing famous people, and the nose of this guy was crooked, lighting down it, bent up, wrong angle, wrong light, wrong everything. You are not a famous photographer because you took a photograph of a famous person. Hector, you're the best for everything you will ever do in your life inside you if you made them look their best. Every single one of you, your job is to make, when I look at your work, I don't care if you're creative. I don't care. First thing I look at, did you make that person look good? Then are you creative? But first of all, you got to make a living. Winning every award in this place is never going to put money in your pocket. You're not going to provide for your family. To provide for your family, you got to be able to read people, be nice to them, over-deliver, but yet catch the right moment and the right angle. And okay, there are photographers that are that movie stars have them follow them around to be their photographer. There's celebrities that have their own photographers that follow them around because they know how to photograph them. You look beautiful. Who does your hair? Okay, well, if you did go get your hair done and they did it good, would you stick with them? Okay, I go to the mall, I want a personal shopper, right? I go there, they put these funny clothes on me. I'm like, look at me. Do I look like I'm out in the jungle? Do I look like a businessman? I want to be a businessman. If you're a photographer, don't be too cool, because you're a business person. You are not a photographer, you're a business person. Look like a business person. Do I look like a business person? I ain't got no black outfit on, funky shoes, earrings, all this tattoos all over me and stuff. You know, different hair and wild purple hair. You gotta fit into your environment. If your environment, everybody's in a tuxedo, put a tuxedo on, blend in. Who are you? You think you're the star? You're not the star, they're the star. Okay, so let's get back to this. So we're gonna take this light, we raised it up. I showed you, I'm gonna show you where to put it, but I'm gonna take this box off of here so that we're seeing light a little bit easier. Put your finger back, we're gonna fix it. So if you put the light in butterfly position, you've corrected her bump on her nose, you can put your finger down, and this girl will finally purchase a photograph from you because you got it right. Okay, now she's got a beautiful skinny little nose. So I'm gonna make it wider. Hey, your right hand is gonna go on your nostril like you got a big nostril. Okay, light projects. Now I made her nose bigger than she's ever seen it before. But if I put it in split light, and that finger over there was the width of her nose, was that wide, it's in shadow, she's got the skinniest nose she's ever been photographed with before. Put your finger down. Now look how cute her nose. We don't need that. Everybody's face needs what? Hey Mike, everybody's face needs what? A certain type of light. So I'm gonna take you through those. This right here is what we call split light. If she's got a black eye in there, you did not put the light in the right spot. So I'm gonna bring it forward. Remember, split light splits the face in half. I'm gonna bring it forward until it hits that other eye, and then back it up. That's as much forward as I can bring it. That's the best it's ever gonna be on her. Now, if she turns her face that way, that's broad lighting. And if she turns her face all the way this way, probably looking here, that's short lighting. There's three. Split, broad, short are all the same thing. Except that if I'm looking at her here, that's broad. If I'm looking at her here, that's split. And if I'm looking at her over there, you're seeing short lighting. All right, let's get it back in front again. This is butterfly. If there's no shadow under that nose, this is not butterfly light. Butterfly, if you listen to this, because I'm handing it to you on a silver platter, that's not butterfly light. I'm watching all these pictures around here, that's not butterfly light. If you get the shadow right under the nose, chin down a little bit. If you get the shadow under the nose, just halfway like that, that's butterfly. If you go up too high and the light, the shadow hits her lip, then you've erased the lip. So that position's kind of like halfway in there. And then of course, you never put the light over here. Why? For her, would you put the main light over here? Do you know how many instructors I watched this morning just turn the light on and they're speaking in these big huge booths? And the guy's got the light over here like this, just taking pictures. I don't even know what he's talking about. And what's wrong with the lighting right now? The light's on the wrong side of her. Why? Shadow from what? Her bangs are making a shadow all the way across her forehead. You're a professional photographer. You got the gall to get up here and start talking to people, and you can't even know what side of the person the light goes on? We got to be better than this. You know what I did in my career? I went and I found the best photographers. And I said, I could either pay to go to college or I can pay you to teach me. Got to that level. Found the next best photographer. Can I pay you to teach me? Get to the next level. You know what kills me? These young photographers think I'm a photographer and they've never learned from anybody. Never interned. Every single one says I'm self-taught. Can I tell you something? I went and studied under the best. You could spend a week with me and I'd give you everything I learned over the last 35 years. You're going to figure that out on your own. It's going to take you 35 years, and I would tell you right now, everything. Don't hang around with the young kids. Find an old guy like me or even older. I'm hanging out with the 85-year-olds because they can take me to the next level. We all need someone to help us. You know what? Why don't you just go home and watch it on YouTube? Because we want more. My job is to push you guys, inspire you, yell at you a little bit, make you think, and inspire you to be better at this. What's wrong? I want you to tell me. I want you to say, look at that. So tell me, Sergio, tell me to put the light over here. Now look, there's no shadows going across her forehead. This is what it's all about, helping each other. But you know what, it's hard because you want to help your friends out, but then you're like cocky or whatever, like you know it all. But it's like, it's for us to help each other and go, okay, that's the best side or that side. You know, like me, if I have a bad day, I'll just take 5 or 6 pictures of her and go, hey, I'll be right back. I'll go look on my camera and go, wow, I wonder what she looked like with split light. So I'll do one like this, then I'll do one like this, do one in butterfly. I love her with butterfly, but that shadow's going on her forehead. See the shadow again? So what do? Do I tell her to put the hair back? Do I move the light back over? You know what I like about you right now? Is you're starting to direct things. It's catching you. You're seeing it. You're helping me. You're inspiring me right now because I know you're getting it. Right now it's popping out of you. Do this, do that. I love it. Can I give you a kick in the butt and tell you to be the best you can be? Okay? All right, so first thing you do is you turn their body away from the light. Look how the front of her already got dark. So that's going to make the light go to her face. But now the light is everywhere. We can be better than that. So let's put a softbox back on here and watch what the softbox does. So this is really cool stuff. Watch this. See that diffuser anywhere? Oh, it's up there. I'll get it. All right, so what's nice about this light, this is a Westcott light. It's got, let me put these in first, then we'll pop those in. It's got fluorescent bulbs, but they're daylight balanced. And since the bulb is fluorescent tubed, it kind of glows. Since it glows, you could put 6 bulbs in there and let them all infuse in on each other. It's weird. When this light first came out, I was like, I ain't touching that. I ain't using that. And then I got forced to try it, and I tried it, and I probably took one of the best pictures I've ever taken in my life. All because of that frosted bulb. So I could actually take a picture with this light just like that, but I think I would like to gradate the light and make it go dark down here. Wouldn't that be cool? Like if you had a flag or something? And you know what? I don't want to get up here and say use this $20,000 light. You know how much this light is? Best light you'll ever take a portrait with. I'm not saying it's for groups. So I'm not trying to mislead you. I'm just trying to say, I don't think it's right to tell people, you know, okay, so watch what I'm going to do. This is cool. I'm going to take this and flag down the bottom of the light. Aha! This is cool stuff. You know what they would do then? It would automatically force it to come up here. You got one stop of light here, reduction, right? And then you put this down. You could double it up. I like to gradate it so it even starts to fall off more, you know. Put this down at the bottom. And now take the softbox, rotate it, feather it off her ear. The ear is never as bright as the face. It's as bright as the shadow. Watch me feather it. Feather it means angle it off. Now you're, yeah, look at that. Now just bend your elbows back a little bit. Nice. How's that? Was that hard? So it's like the simplest light you'll ever take a picture with. Do you need a meter? No. Doesn't even flash. You ever photograph pets? You're not taking a picture of my dog with a strobe. You'll never get a blink. If you photograph babies, you photograph children. I already know that, right? You should. You should. Yeah, you should. So if you photograph children, you're gonna want your strong point could be, I've got a light, it's constant, it doesn't flash, your kid's not gonna get shocked. Same thing with pets. Okay, so look how beautiful this could be by flagging this off. Okay, anybody here ever take a picture in the middle of the day outside in the sun? In the middle of the day, which way is the sun aiming? In the middle of the day, which way is the sun aiming? It is? Where at on Earth is it aiming straight down? Where on Earth is the sun aiming straight down? Come on. I skipped out on school too. I got a job in a photo studio. Come on. Equator. Okay, so at the equator. This is funny stuff, and it might sound stupid, like why are we talking about this? But as photographers, if I was to ask you, if we were to take her picture right now outside, one side of this building's in the shade, and you don't need a reflector, a gobo, none of this stuff. You wouldn't need anything. I wouldn't bring anything with me. What door would you go out? Remember, this is going to happen to you for the rest of your life. You can go to the park and go, well, no, it's not working there. Nope, that don't work there. Oh, it don't go. You think I go to the park and don't even know where I'm going? You don't think I already parked my car in the correct spot? I don't even walk 2 feet from my car. I'm in the right spot. If you could drive around the park, would you go to the north side of the park, the south, the east, or the west? Where would you stop your car? Huh? On the north side. Okay, can I explain this? The only place on Earth where the sun is aiming straight down is at the equator. So if we're in the northern hemisphere, the sun is aiming north. It's coming down, but it's aiming north. So that means if there's a wall there, or a tree, or this building, the sun cannot come around and go in the window. There's moss there. There's moss on that side. The north side is moss. Okay, so one more time, if you got this, here's what I see when I go to the park. People run to the park, no rhyme or reason, and they put them under a tree, and they get blotchy spots all over the subject. You ever get blotchy spots? Do you know what you did? You put them under a tree, but the sun was aiming north. You put them under a tree, the sun came through the leaves and put speckled all over them. Do you know how to correct it? What would you do? One thing that would never happen to you again in your life. Turn around. Hey, listen to this. I'm one of the instructors at Photoshop World, right? So I'm nosy. I walk down the hallway and I look in a class, and guess what the class was on? How to get rid of speckled light. Made a whole class on it. You know what I wanted to do? Walk in and go, hi, can I help your class? Just stop the class right now. You don't need any instructing. Everybody turn around. That's south, aim south, and it'll never happen again. Okay, listen to this. I invented this satellite link up. You know my camera? If I try to aim it north, it turns it around. It just turns it right around. I'm joking. Okay, so if you think about it, if the sun's aiming north, it can't come around. If you would just go outside in the north side, it'll never happen again. I'm from Detroit. You guys, can you tell where I'm from? I talk kind of fast. Come on. All right, so I'm from Detroit. Do you know how Detroit looks its best? I bought a Sigma 1.4 lens. I just blur everything. You've never seen Detroit so beautiful. It's unbelievable. My God, people come, they want to visit. I take them on a tour. I take all their cameras. I put them on 1.4, and everything's beautiful. Same thing with light. It's the same thing with everything. Do you guys ever do any audio recording? Audio recording. If I put the mic in the middle of the room, you'd hear everybody. If I brought the mic right up to you and you started talking, you wouldn't hear anybody else. Lighting's the exact same way. Bring it close, everybody's gone. Back it up, everybody's lit. Every face is different. Position the lights in different spots for everybody's face. Life will be great. I think I talked too much. What do you think? Now, if you don't know what door to go out, I can sell you a reflector, a gobo, an umbrella, all this stuff for people that don't know what door to go out. Please don't do any speckle light anymore. Just turn around and shoot the other way. If you're going to use a reflector, remember the reflector has to tilt up. Do you see anything on her face? Watch. All I do for a reflector is tilt it up. Have you ever seen a photographer anywhere with the reflector tilted up like this? I've never seen it. Think about it. If you play pool? If the light's coming down like this and the reflector's vertical, it's going to go boom and hit the floor. Then you know what happens? They're going, whoa, nothing's happening. Give me a silver one. Then they come over here with silver, nothing. You have to tilt it up. Silver's too much. This little reflector's nice. Now, you guys don't know me. You probably weren't even born then, but about 25 years ago, I was teaching how to twist that reflector up and let it wrap around. And you put it on that arm. I called it the potato chip. And look how beautiful it gets light under and around and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to tell you who I am, what I do, unless you want me to talk. Let me talk about how much money I made, how great I am, all the magazines I've been published in. Do we really want to hear that stuff? No, we don't. No, you don't. You're going to get that out there. My job is to come here and just kick you in the butt and make you a better photographer. So can I say one thing to you all? Thanks for listening. Have a great show. Spend some money on some Westcott stuff. Have a great day. Thank you.